Take a look at this beautiful guest I have with me tonight. Oh, look at you. This is 4-year-old Ella McGarry, born with something called Down syndrome. Many of you may not know what that is, but apparently in biology, she's born with one extra chromosome. The 21st chromosome. Everybody has 2 of each. Ella has 3. Gives her that look, gives her that whatever it is. It's called Down syndrome. Tens of thousands, in fact, more than 50,000 Kenyans in 2012 were registered to have Down syndrome. There could be many more unregistered out there. Many of us may not be aware of what Down syndrome is, but Ella's mother, Eva McGarry, has decided to do something about it. Ella is the second born in a family of 3. The other 2 children, for lack of a better word, are normal. The middle one was the one with the extra chromosome. So, what has Eva decided to do? Well, she was a professional graphic artist running her own company. When Ella was born, she dropped everything, decided to concentrate on this young lady. That's what she's been doing. She started a foundation called MedSac. She'll tell us a little bit about it. But the most important thing, this coming Monday, the 21st of May, 21, like the 21st chromosome, 21st of May, there's a gala dinner at the Tribe Hotel where they're going to officially announce the foundation. About 10,000 shillings per person at the dinner. They already have more than 100 people. They're looking for many more. So there is still time to book your place. In the meantime, if you know somebody who knows somebody who has a child who has Down syndrome, this is the program. Twitter handles are at
Who is Ella 21?
At Who is Ella 21, one word. Who is Ella 21? Mine is at Koinange Jeff. The hashtag we want to use tonight, Meet Ella. Ella, how you doing? You were just talking a few minutes ago, Ella. What's up?
Oh, she's shy.
How you doing? Say hello to everybody.
Mommy.
Ella,
Daddy.
say hi everybody.
Daddy.
Oh.
You wanna go see Daddy?
Yeah.
All right.
Say hi to Daddy.
Yeah.
Say hi to Daddy.
Where's Daddy?
Hi, Daddy.
Oh, hi, Daddy.
Hello, Daddy.
And you're drinking your milk. You wanna say hi to Luca and Shosho?
Yep.
Say hi. Say hi to everyone. Okay. Okay, hold on, hold on, baby. Okay, come, let me show you. Let's go to. You wanna go to Daddy?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll go to Daddy.
Let her go. Let her go. She can go. She can go.
All right, bye, baby.
All right. Bye, Ella. Bye. Something I said?
No, it's
Nobody ever walks off JKL. You know that. Well, someone
past
once
her
did, but you know,
bedtime.
that's another time.
past her bedtime.
It is, isn't
So we
it? I'm
have to-
sorry.
we have
All
to-
right,
we
all
have
right.
to excuse her.
She's beautiful, though. She's
Thank
beautiful.
You. Thank you very much.
Look, a lot of people do not understand.
Yeah.
What is the 21st chromosome? How come everybody has 2 and this one has 3? Or Down syndrome kids have 3? When you found out that your second born... by the way, how did you find out?
I actually found her when she was given to me. Once I delivered her, and the doctor handed her over to me, I noticed a couple of features, her facial features, some features that are common with kids who have Down syndrome, such as upward slant of the eyes.
Yeah.
She had a flat nasal bridge, mainly for the facial features, because she was given to me and she was wrapped up.
But you didn't know. I mean,
No, I didn't know.
Right.
I didn't know. All the while, when they did all the tests, everything came back clean. You know, as far as I was concerned, I knew I was gonna have a typical baby. Yeah. Until Ella was given to me, and once I noticed these features, I decided to get on my iPad and start checking out things for myself, and started looking for other symptoms related to Down syndrome.
why? Because she didn't resemble your firstborn, or she didn't...
That too, but her features were more prominent. These Down syndrome features were more prominent than that of a typical child. The upward slant, I know even when I was born, my mom says that I had an upward slant or I have small eyes, but for her there's something that just didn't sit right with me. And so when you get on Google and you get on images and you start looking for kids who've got Down syndrome, there was a lot of similarity.
So, what was going through your mind?
Well, I was lost and confused because according to all the tests that we had done, everything was normal, everything was okay, and I was expecting a healthy baby without any complications or any conditions. And so when this sprung on me, my husband and I decided to take it one day at a time, as that's the only thing that you can do, especially when you don't know. This is unknown, you know. We had no clue about anything.
Were you scared?
Very, extremely scared. Because I had never dealt with anybody who had Down syndrome before.
Yeah.
And
you have no family history?
No.
Robert has no family history?
None. It's not genetic in that it's passed down, especially trisomy 21, which is what she has. Trisomy 21 being the 3 chromosomes, yeah? The 21st chromosome being 3. It's not passed down. It's just randomly selected. Yeah, it's very sporadic.
Did you think she wouldn't survive? Because the oldest is a boy. You
Yes.
suddenly get a girl.
My son Eli.
Right.
Yes.
And then you get a girl, and
Yes.
you're all excited. I'm sure
Very.
Robert is, because it's his
Very.
mother, blah, blah, blah.
Exactly.
Do you think this child might not survive?
The thought did cross my mind, only because I had heard that people who had Down syndrome, a couple of facts that I knew from before is that people who had Down syndrome didn't have a long lifespan. Yeah, they didn't survive past, some even beyond teenage years, some beyond their 20s. But I'll tell you, in recent studies, since the 80s, when people with Down syndrome survived up until age 25, recent studies have shown that from the 80s till now, they go even past 60, just because of the support or the help or the research that has been done.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so other than that, okay, what would cause a child to have that extra chromosome? Is there an explanation for that?
No,
There isn't.
like I said earlier, it's
Yeah.
very sporadic. I know they say that it occurs a lot more in older women, older being 35
Yeah.
and above,
Yeah.
or very young. I know before they used to say it would occur more in Africans or black people than it would in Caucasians, but research shows that that's not the case. You find age group between 25 to 30, they're extremely fertile, yeah? So the chances of them having a child with Down syndrome is much higher. There's a huge occurrence of people with kids with Down syndrome from age 25 to 30 as compared to 35 to 40 and above, just because fewer women of that age group are having children. So the younger you are, doesn't necessarily mean that you'll have a child with Down syndrome, but the chances are much higher now.
And also, the older you are.
Yes, and the older you are,
Okay.
the chances are much
So
higher.
you're in the hospital.
Yes.
When does the doctor officially tell you that it is what it is?
So I have Ella, and she was born at about 11 p.m. in the night. And I couldn't sleep that night. So the next morning, how the doctor would come and do his routine checkups. So the pediatrician, the pediatrician.
You coming back now?
No.
Come on, Ella, come here.
Ella, come sit on the bench.
No.
You're not gonna come?
You're gonna.
Come, baby, come sit here.
Yeah.
Come sit with mommy.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
there you go. There you
Okay.
go. Oh, okay.
Okay. She's very independent.
There you go.
You've got your water and you've got your milk. Wait.
Welcome back.
She said, "Wait a minute."
Oh, is that what she said?
Yeah, she said, "Wait a minute."
All right. And welcome back.
What do you say? Thank you.
You remind me of a guest I once had on the show. Walked off, walked back on.
Oh, really? Okay.
No names mentioned.
No name is mentioned.
Okay,
So
so,
I said-
she was born about 11 o'clock.
Routine check the next morning by the pediatrician. He came and he did his routine check. Because I hadn't slept with everything that I had already Googled or researched for myself, I saw him observe her, and I was observing him to see if there was anything that he would make him react, that would trigger a reaction. And nothing did, and that's when I asked him, so everything is okay? I have nothing to worry about. And that's when he stopped, took a pause, and he said, I know what you think. However, I'd like to confirm that with tests first. I don't want to confirm anything yet until we get the tests done. The tests were done the day we were discharged from the hospital, which was the following day. And the results came back 3 weeks later positive that she did have Down syndrome. Yeah.
And what was your reaction, you and Robert? What was the reaction? Was it devastation? Was it, were you?
I was sad. I was depressed for a little bit, yeah. I grieved for at least the period before we got the results, and for like 3 months after that.
Yeah.
Only because I researched and tried to look for help, and it was not very forthcoming. So that worried me because I didn't know what I needed to do. But I did have, I knew by the time the results came back that she had Down syndrome. But now it was to break the news to my husband, who got the news from the doctor.
Right.
Now his, you and me and me and you.
Ella, are you gonna dance on my show?
You wanna dance?
Because the last group that danced was called Sauti Soul, you know that?
Daddy.
Okay.
Come here. All right.
Okay.
So-
You wanna take your milk to Rose?
Is it difficult rearing a child like this?
In the beginning it is. Especially when you feel like you have no options.
Yeah.
And you don't know what to do, and there's no guidance, and there's no one kind of directing you on what to do or what to say or how to go about it. But with time, you see, Ella is 4 years old now.
Yeah.
This is part of my daily routine. It's nothing new to me. Everyone else might look at it from the outside,
Right.
especially because they've never had the experience, and wonder why the 4-year-old is not talking. She's not as audible as a 4-year-old would be.
But you understand her completely.
I understand her completely, and I'll tell you, the more you do interact with her, even within a day, it doesn't even have to be days, but the more you do interact with her, the more you pick on what she says. You'll find her babbling through maybe the first 3 words, and she'll say the last 2 perfectly clear. So you'll get what she wants. So she'll be like, Jeff, milk, please. So you know,
What she wants.
Jeff, I want milk, please, yeah? In the beginning, I had to get on YouTube and learn sign language, basic signs, to teach her, because you could see she was getting frustrated in her babbling, trying to ask for stuff, you know? If she wanted food and you'd see, and she'd be like, and she's not yet even saying mommy, you know?
How long did it take her to say mommy?
Oh wow, that took a while. I think she started saying mommy age 2. Age 2. She actually said dada and daddy way before she said mommy.
No.
But as did all my kids. It's a sign, but anyway. So I took no offense to that. You know, I was like, okay, she's one of them.
Right.
She's like the others.
Okay,
Yeah.
the oldest is how old?
Eli,
Or how much older than Ella?
Eli is 8 years old, and he was born 4 years older than Ella. The gap is 4.
Right.
Yeah.
So how did he interact with his baby sister?
I'll tell you something, and I don't mean to go spiritual. However, God works in mysterious ways. And the reason I say this is because between Eli and Ella, I lost another child, yeah? And so there was that gap. I always felt like there was a gap that I needed to fill. There was something that I was missing. And it took another 2 years for me to have Ella. But by this time, Eli was old enough to be independent and not feel like he needs to be babied. He was old enough to welcome another child. And the journey has been from day 1 to today. He's always taken care of Ella.
Did that child reach birth?
It was just a miscarriage at 5 months.